What's good, anime enthusiasts? Welcome to yet another episode review for the second season of Mushoku Tensei. Now, we got another block of episodes 15, 16, 17, and wanted to do Turning Point 3, but quite unfortunately, well, fortunately in some regards, 16 and 17, with addition a small bit of 15. Actually, no, all three, they give us a nice little chunk that has some very heavy hitting stuff, not only for the characters involved, but also for Rudeus himself. I got a small gripe, kind of a complaint about it, but it's whatever. I think it's a minor thing on my part, and it's something I wish they did more to it, and I'm kind of asking for more, but that's pretty much it. I enjoyed what I've seen so far. But what about you, Daddy?
Hey, yo, what up, y'all? I'm really happy for this 3 stretch of episodes. I think 3 is just the magic number for this anime in particular. I feel like we cover a good arc in that amount of time. I love these episodes. They do well to set each other up, right? 15 is great for 16, and 16 hit me really, really hard. 16 and 17 hit me hard, especially as like a big brother. Soren, I don't know, are you a sibling?
I'm the little one.
Bro, it hits so different on these scenes. It really made me rethink like how I talk to my own brother, right? Like when I'm explaining my feelings or if he's explaining his feelings to me, you know? It was fun.
Yeah. So why don't just jump right into it? Because I think as far as everything on it, 15 is more my favorite out of the 3. Not only for it's just all the characters involved, and it really like closes a chapter on Nanahoshi. Closes the chapter for Nanahoshi. It allows her to, I guess, have a bit of an anchor in this world. So getting there, the episode begins with Rudeus getting a letter from Paul. This is where we set up episode 16 and 17, where Paul is congratulating Rudeus on entering the university, and Paul himself is party. They're currently in Eastport, and they're ready to go into Begret to search for Zenith. Paul is worried about having Norn and Aisha with them, so he's sending them to Rudeus, and they're being escorted by a certain person that they met, a friend. So afterwards, Rudeus lets Sophie know about the situation, how his sisters are coming, they're going to take him in. And he has a small reflection on his life so far. He's got a place to call home, he's got a wife, things are looking up, things are different. And during their dinner, both of them decide to teach each other some things. So Rudeus attempting to learn healing magic, while Sophie attempting to learn disturb magic. Nothing really of note comes out of it. They're just having a nice little time, and they're learning, I guess, a few concepts. Back to Nanahoshi, however, she's been at it for a month with her research, and now it's cumulates to this giant magic circle that can summon things from another world. And Nanahoshi gives the explanation on how mana explains most of the weird things about the world in her eyes. Like how a bigger magic circle is required for summoning larger, more complex things. Rudeus, he himself, internalizing that, okay, so when I make my earth spikes, I'm actually drawing mana from around me. So Rudeus gets to it. He injects mana into the circle, but he feels something is off. And then a spark ignites in the corner of the magic circle, and it cuts through the paper. Fortunately, it's a failure. Rudeus says a couple of trying, it's all right, you try, all that. And he leaves. And when he gets to the steps, Nanahoshi has one of the hardest crash outs ever. I think harder than Sophie crashing out against her, as she is destroying everything in her lab. And Rudeus comes back in, tries to help her calm down, and Nanahoshi shuts down completely. Eyes dead. So Rudeus grabs her, takes her through the halls, recruits a noble to help him take her to the infirmary, and while in the infirmary and taking Nanahoshi home, we learned that Nanahoshi has been holed up in her lab for most of her days, doing the research, trying to figure out how magic circles work. And it's come to attention, hey, she's also probably not eating well as well. And so once we get home, Rudeus talks to Sophie about it and taking a look after her. Then the other characters, both Sophie and Zenoba, and even Julie, they notice Rudeus's like change in attitude, how he's sad and he's kind of has like a 1,000-yard stare, just like Nanahoshi. And Rudeus explains that, hey, I know how Nanahoshi is feeling. I can see the change in her. And so the next morning, Rudeus attempts to converse with Nanahoshi. Nothing really comes to it, but to the end, Nanahoshi explains how magic circles work. It's like a circuit board, and how it summons things. And at one point in the circle, when the ones that she made, she couldn't really get it to connect no matter what she did. So using that idea, Rudeus takes the magic circle and presents this to Elenice, Cliff, Zenoba, and Julie. It says, hey, help me out. Is there anything you guys can see? I mean, you may not know much about magic circles, but if we throw as many heads at this as possible, we're bound to find something. Look at it at different angles, different perspectives. And there's some dialogue and explanations and theories. Both Cliff and Zenoba noticing the doll how it has magic circles, and in the research notes there's the idea of overlapping magic circles. With that, next scene, they bring in Nanahoshi to her lab, and while she's deadly staring at the proof of concept of the show, life is being brought into her eyes as her mind is racing, as thinking, oh, why didn't I think about it before? It's so simple. And then she gets to drawing. And while she quickly hits a snag, Cliff goes like, hey, how about this? Cliff showing off his smarts, and both of them start drawing up a circle. And at the end, they have a big final test, and the result is a success as Rudeus injects his man into it, and it summons a water bottle. Afterwards, they have a nice little celebration. Nanahoshi is thanking everyone for their assistance. And after the credits, we get a small scene of seeing Norn and Aisha outside the home, along with Richard. He's not dead, and the episode ends.
Dude, they could not hide Richard for 2 seconds. The second I saw that band on his hand, ready to dap up Paul, I knew what was up. That's my go.
Yeah. So yeah, this episode is for Nanahoshi, not only for character development and for the anime to show her desperation of trying to get home, like even to her physical and mental health. She's not eating. She's not taking the time to rest for herself. She's really just trying to get home because she, like we heard in previous episodes before, she doesn't like this world. She doesn't like the food here. She just wants to go home. There's people that at home that she wants to get to. And when this biggest thing that she hits like her apex in her research, it's like, this is gonna work. This is safe. And when it fails, it's like all of those months, years of research flushed down the drain. And she mentally snaps. Of course, it's calm at first, she's going through the stages of grief right now. She's not hit anger yet, but when she did, legendary crash out, as JD put it in our comments, DMs. It's just, and then to go from there to being completely pessimistic about it. It's like, you're never gonna go home. Nothing's gonna work. I can't figure out this one whole thing and do anything. And we all remember, Nanahoshi is the only person doing this entire research. And she also closed off Rudeus, saying like, hey, leave this to me. And in previous episodes, like, why are you talking to me? You should be quiet so I can focus on this. Like, she's been doing everything herself. And when Rudeus took the magic circle to his friends, he's like, hey, different perspectives, different minds. That doll in the research notes, all the answers for Nanahoshi. But of course, Nanahoshi doesn't know about these things. But when Rudeus interposes himself and shows the proof of concept, Nanahoshi sees it. Oh my god, why didn't I think of that? Well, of course, because you're doing this by yourself. You don't have other minds, other critiques, other people to help you out. You never branched out and reached out to the despicable world that you're in. You didn't realize that there are actually people here that can assist you. Like, you've already assisted the university with the food and everything. People do have like a high opinion of you. They might want to help you. You just never took that step out of your own cage, your own like social bubble in order to get that assistance. And even though, yeah, Cliff is smart, Cliff is that representation of all of those ideas that you never had, all of those that new perspective that would have helped you out in this. And with Cliff and Zenoba's help, boom, you have a success. Research. And it's a nice lesson. There are people in the world that will want to assist you if you just ask. Just reach out. If you hit a snag, you can't do everything by yourself. People do like you. Just reach out. Somebody's gonna grab your hand. Somebody's gonna help.
No, it's a pretty awesome sequence for Nanahoshi in particular, right? Immediately after her final experiment, quote unquote, fails, and she actually starts crashing out in the scene immediately afterwards, is the last time we see her as Silent Seven Star. She completely unmasks for that and like shows her emotions both to Rudeus and everybody else from that point on, right? At that point, she fully embraces that sort of communal aspect of being in school, and I thought that was an awesome touch. Like, if she put her mask back on, like, immediately after the experiment worked again, or like in a future episode, then she would be back to being Silent Seven Star. But for the first time, she gets to be Nanahoshi, right? I thought that was real cool. That said, bro, how smart is she? She's absurd, yo. I was like just in awe at the concept, right? Because I would have never thought of any of those stacking up things either until she pointed out herself, like, it's like a circuit board, right? And it like sort of mimics a lot of our like modern knowledge here. I do wonder, will that stacking summoning circle be an issue for her and her requirements to like not make too many waves in the new world, you know?
That depends, because, well, no, it shouldn't be, because the concept already exists through the research with the doll. So if her doing that wouldn't really matter. If anything, if she were to make too much of a sway, is that if she would make another, mana disaster incident. That's what I would think.
That's actually a good catch. The doll. That makes me wonder who made the doll.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
There's a possibility that the doll was made by, I don't know, some legendary character within the world. Or, in the back of my mind, I have this theory that the doll was made by somebody else who was also from another world, and the doll was like their apex, their thing. I mean, the doll is mysterious, Maybe there's more about the doll once they figured it out and look into the research. That, who knows? It could be related to Seven Great Powers. Hey, it could be related to Man God. Who knows?
No word. That's gonna be so cool. Finally got a letter back from Paul, right? Great to hear from him. We know Rudeus told us they've been writing back and forth to each other, but they just don't know when they'll ever get a response, right? So seeing both Aisha and Norn come immediately, right, rather than like at the beginning of the next episode, was like a great lead into the next episode. And then seeing Ruchard, of course, we had to gas up my boy Ruchard. Glad to see him. I think it's funny that he started his journey here, or his reappearance into the scene, the same way he's did it with Rudeus and Eris the first time, just escorting two kids across multiple continents, right?
Yeah. Oh, goes
I wonder, sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I do wonder if the author has like a side B of that adventure too. I would love to read it, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. What do you think about Julie being that emotional recentering for Rudeus?
You said Julie?
Yeah, because when they were taking Nanahoshi home, Rudeus had that sad look in his face, and Julie was like, "Grandmaster, are you okay?" And when Rudeus picked up Julie, the child, and he held her, he kind of calmed down. This is that emotional recentering straight. It's, I guess it's like a sidebar of like, when you're with children that kind of take notice things, you don't want to show your sadness or anything. Or it could be the fact that you kind of need that childlike happiness. You kind of need that child smile in order for you to be like, man, it's okay, we can figure this out.
I think Julie brings that sort of earnest and unabashed willingness to point out when something's wrong, right? And it sort of forces Rudeus to like fix his face, right? You'll see it both in this episode and I think the next one. His facial control is like really strong, and unless somebody tells him like, hey, you're making a really ugly face right now, he'll probably just stick with it without realizing it. I do love Julie. Julie is just like really cool. I love her.
Speaking of fixing his face, I say it's a long shot, but you remember when Rudeus crashed out on Soldat? He said, "Why do you think I'm always smiling? It's so that people don't think I'm scary, or they can't think of ill to me." Now when Rudeus had that sad face, sad look on his face, people then just notice that, hey, are you okay?
Oh my gosh, that's actually such a good call out.
Connections.
Consistency, dude. Okay, one thing really, really early on to the episode, when they go outside to practice their magic together, Sophie and Rudeus, I think it's really telling that Rudeus can't cast healing magic incantationlessly. God, that is a word. I think it fits him perfectly, right? Like he can do attack spells like perfectly. He can feel it in his blood. He can disrupt magic. He has like a primal understanding of those things. But Sophie points it out perfectly that maybe you just don't understand how it feels to be healed, right? And it may seem like a nothing bar, but if you like listen to it in isolation, it actually hits really hard.
Oh, dang. I just caught that. Wow. You don't know how it feels to be healed. Gee.
Just brutal.
Oh.
I had to like go back a few episodes to like the rare places where he does heal. I don't recall him being able to heal like without casting an incantation. I think maybe once on the ship. But if that's like a consistent thing that they've kept since like season one, that's incredible like attention to detail.
No. He's done that with Eris, to heal her and possibly some of the others. Isn't doing anything. But I think we're talking like bigger healing spells. Like maybe like, well, I think he kind of like detox, quote unquote, Eris to get rid of like seasickness. But I guess like for bigger like wounds or spells, or like some like interesting things, intricate healing, maybe that's the feeling. Like you can heal up like scrapes and wounds, but if you want to heal like deeper wounds, possibly bordering like resurrection, then you need to have a feeling of how to be healed that manner. I don't know.
No, that makes sense, right? And it's kind of funny now that I'm thinking about it again. Because it really has been, oh, I'm just a little bit tired or I'm sick. Let me do a little healing magic. And then Resurrection, the only two versions that he's ever felt for like healing magic ever. And for Resurrection, he wasn't even conscious to feel the Resurrection.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang,
that's a It shows like a bit more detail on the structure of magic in the world. Like even with Nanahoshi's explanation of like mana, mana explains like most things. He says most weird things, but I guess the structure itself. And I guess when you're doing incantationless stuff, you're drawing mana from other places like around you and forming it into things. So it doesn't have to be from you in particular, which then calls into question of like mana capacity. Like, what does that mean now? Is it internal capacity of how much you have internally, or mana capacity to how much mana you're able to manipulate yourself in one go?
It's a deep system, yeah.
Yeah. But you know what's even deeper? Norn and Aisha's relationship with Rudeus. Because listen, JD, remember in season 1 when I said that Norn would still have that feeling of hating Rudeus for what he did to Paul?
Yes,
Damn,
I remember.
Feels good to be right, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh.
Episode 16.
This is where the pain begins.
Norn and Aisha. So, episode begins with Richard and Rudeus. They're talking for a bit. They're catching up. And this is like a little bit more, I guess, not closure, but understanding for Rudeus of why Eris left. And it comes to the fact that, yeah, Rudeus, you're misunderstanding Eris's words. And of course, we all know Eris isn't so great with words. But we'll see how Rudeus kind of goes about it. But Richard is leaving tomorrow morning. He doesn't want to impose. But when said morning comes, Rudeus and Bodigatti, they have a little exchange. No words really exchanged between them. They're just like staring off at each other like wrestlers. But Bodigotti's like, so that's how it is. And he leaves. And Rudeus, he himself, he's able to stay a little bit longer just to eat breakfast, just for that final little connection. And then he bids his farewells to the family, as well as Aisha and Norn, giving him a little advice and conversation. And a little bit in that, we focus on Norn because he said, hey, I want to go with you, Rudeus. Why? Because Rudeus hit dad. And of course, we all know about that. But after Rudeus leaves, Rudeus, he talks to his sisters for a bit, introducing, and Aisha gives him a box. He gets another letter from his father saying to, hey, put his sisters into school through the university. And so they talk about what the sisters actually want to do. And Rudeus gives them a decision, a test. Depending on how well you do on the entrance exam, you get to do what you want. And the sisters themselves, they have a little falling out between themselves. And so the same night, Rudeus talks with Sylphie about the situation, how to be responsible adults, how to take care of his sisters. And of course, Sylphie coming in clutch, as she herself kind of understands with the female mind how sisters feel. And afterwards, the day comes, Aisha aces the test, and Aisha is allowed to stay at home and become the maid that she wants to be. Norn, on the other hand, didn't do so well. She will now have to go to university. But she says, hey, can I stay in the dorms? And Rudeus thinks about it, and she's like, yeah, you can stay. Which then makes Aisha angry, saying, hey, why does she get to have her way when I work so hard to do all this? Hey, wait, why are you giving her special treatment? Is it because my mom was a concubine? And then Rudeus is like, yo, calm down. Then, afterwards, Rudeus sees Norn off the next morning, giving her, she's like, hey, do this, do that. Make sure you follow the rules of the university, follow the rules of the dorm, eat well, take care of yourself, because I worry about you. With that, time passes, and it looks like Norn isn't doing so well. She's not talking to other people. She's off by herself. And it makes Rudeus a little down. But Linnea and Persona, they tend to cheer up Rudeus with a bag. He doesn't look into it. But in the halls, he gets stopped by Luke. And Luke says, hey, come with me to the student council office. So he goes, and he's getting looks from everybody. Well, apparently, the girls from the girls' dorm, specifically those with small assets, have had their underwear forcibly taken by Linnea and Persona and being stuffed into a bag for, as they put it, their boss. So Rudeus is like, yo, I had nothing to do with this. I just got this bag in the morning. Please don't do anything to me. I know nothing about this. And so he's allowed to leave. Afterwards, they cross paths with Norn, who is lost trying to get to a practice room. Luke leads her to her destination. And after that, Rudeus chews out the Beast Girls. Also at the time, Norn does pass by to look on, and she catches the eye of the Beast Girls. However, Rudeus sets them straight. And at the end of it, we get a small scene of Norn, as she hasn't shown up to class, and now she's sitting in her bed by herself, shutting herself off from the world. And the episode ends. So I want to talk about a contrived situation that happened, where how we get Linnea and Persona to now help out with Norn through this crazy antic. Because otherwise, how would Linnea and Persona interact with Norn?
Okay, so I did sort of feel the same way. I won't lie. Just the idea that they were observant enough to be like, dang, the boss is sad, but then go around stealing panties live off of people, by the way.
Funniest thing is that it's not out of the realm of possibility that Rudeus himself would have done that. So they're kind of taking after their boss.
They've seen the shrine. Maybe they just wanted to offer a donation.
There you go. You figured it out. And also the thing is, we've already had Elenice, Cliff, Zenoba, and Julie the previous episode to help out with another character that's close to Rudeus in one way. Now we have Norn. We can't really do that again. Well, we can, but we have other characters that we can bring in to help develop more. So we pull in Linnea and Persona. Well, how do we get them to interact with Norn, who's about to shut herself off from her brother? Well, let's just have another comedic moment.
Like, I'm here for it. I love those two. Those are my favorite delinquents.
By the way, Sophie.
I did scream.
Sophie's comment. Oh, I thought, so glad you weren't the one who did it. I thought I wasn't satisfying you enough. Hello?
Bro, just out in the open. Like, dang, dirty laundry in the bag, dirty laundry in the gossip. Come on, brother. That princess is eating good on the gossip, yeah.
Sophie letting everybody know how she really feels.
Let's see here. Okay. Beginning.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go. Okay. The beginning. Rudeus and Rudeus, right? I thought I was gonna be happy to see them like reconnect, right? But the way it went out perfectly sort of displays what it feels like to talk to somebody you haven't seen in a long time, right? And someone who you don't keep contact with, right? So Rudeus is, of course, a reserved, very dutiful person, right? He doesn't want to impose. And Rudeus is still like a child to Rudeus, or he considers himself like to be not on that same level, right? He's like a whole man now, right? But Rudeus will always be that person who sort of guided him and protected him from like the demon continent and all that jazz. And if the words being said didn't display that to you, that sort of emotional distance, it's also compounded by physical distance, both in the fireplace scene and in the breakfast scene, right? You have Rudeus sitting like 5 chairs away from Rudeus and the rest of the family, right? And then you have like the distance of the couch between like both of them, right? In like low light. I thought that was really cool cinematography, right?
I think what really adds to that is Rudeus' insistence on getting him to like have breakfast with him, because he doesn't want Rudeus to like up and disappear. Like, he wants to see Rudeus off. He wants to, and especially at the bodyguard, like, it was that moment for him, like, okay, Rudeus, I know you gotta leave, but at least have breakfast, man. Like, let's just have this one last little like happy moment instead of that with bodyguard to like, leave, and then that's it, It really felt like, for me, Rudeus like reaching out to Rudeus, like, don't go yet. Please don't. You just got here, man. Like, let's talk a little bit more. I don't know when I'm going to see you again. That's really it.
Damn. Any loners in the chat get called out right now? I'm right there, bro. Hot seat, bro.
And that just it's like it exemplifies the importance of keeping in touch with other people, like communications. Like, oh god. Even in the modern days, we have our cell phones, we texted people, email people, all that good stuff, catch up. But, at some point, once you stop talking to somebody, you kind of just then like forget about them. But when you see them again, you only have that small amount of time of like, how much can I do with this person or say to this person before they leave and like go away? If you don't have their contacts, you're just waiting until that next day to see them again. But then again, you don't know if you're gonna see them again. So now, once you have your contact with your people, text them every day. Even if you do that, but just pick up on your people. You never know what they're going through.
No, definitely real. Wow, this is a beautiful. Jesus Christ, man. And it's like you said, we have the contacts. We specifically in the modern day, we have the means to contact people all the time, right? And it's like, sometimes you just don't use it, right? This is your reminder, I guess. Like, Rudeus and Rudeus probably doesn't even have an address, let's be so for real. We cannot write him letters. But we got phones, so it's like so different. It hits so good.
Yeah, man. Norn and Aisha. I feel so bad for Aisha, man. Like, both of them are young. They know things, they don't know things. They're fighting against each other. Me personally, I'm on Aisha's side, but Aisha, look, you can't be like flinging words like that against Norn. Like, I know you're good, I know you're a hard worker, and I know you're looking down on Norn because she feels like the true baby. Like, the precious one that you need to protect, while Aisha is like the much older sibling that kind of knows everything, can't do everything, the more aggressive one, redhead, and the more outspoken one. Dang.
No, that scene very specifically, it's like we're all supposed to empathize with Aisha, like directly, right? And in some way, I do understand where she's coming from. She is within her right to be like, wait, why did we go through the test if you were just gonna like make decisions willy nilly anyway, right? And this is like part of the nature of paternalism, where there's no one size fit all like solution for like people even going through the same circumstances, going through the same test, right? Rudeus in his mind and out loud says, "Hey, I have to make decisions that may help out Norn and decisions that may help out you, and they may be different things, right?" Like if I was in his position, me personally, I would have sent both to school anyway so they could at least like hang out together, right? But that's just not how it goes, right? I can respect the decision to like send Norn to school and like let her live in the dorms here, right? What would you do if you were in that spot, Soren?
I definitely let Aisha stay as per the wish of her mother. If Aisha told me or Lilia told me that that's what Aisha should do, because that's calling back all the way to season 1 saying, okay, my child will serve. Serve or help out Rudeus in his time. So this is all fulfilling the mother's wish. Like I would do that. And for Norn herself, I'd be worried about her, but also I would, respect her decision. Hey, you want to, stay in the dorms? Go ahead and stay in the dorms. But, make sure you follow the rules of the dorm. Make sure you try to, not cause problems for other people. Because you also got to think about it. In this world, they've been adventuring with Paul and the others. Who knows what dangers they met? Who knows? And of course, they're all orphans / victims of the mana disaster. They've seen some things. Norn has seen things. Aisha's seen some things. They've been through like the mud and the water, and now they're just coming back up. Hey, who knows what they've seen with Paul and the other parties? Who knows what they've seen with Rudeus? They've grown up faster than other children, and so at this point, I would expect them to be a lot more mature for their age and attempt to let them do what they wish, but within certain boundaries.
I get you. Bro, parenting is going to be hardest.
I mean, it's also
and,
hard. No, I'm sorry. Let me stop.
No. Like, I'm lucky we have, like, Sylvie here to sort of, like, be really grounded about these things, right? Even if she is sort of, no, I can't say that. I was gonna be like, oh, Sophie is definitely the author's, like, correct opinion here. You know what I mean? Like, they're very consistent in that way, but I think she's been written, like, so consistently and reliably with, like, being supportive of everybody that I think it's not fair for me to call her, like, a self-insert with, like, author's wisdom type of deal.
I guess you know. Sophie is like the moral compass of the right thing to do, possibly, and to make sure like everybody is happy. It's also, I'm not gonna lie, we're also getting to the point to where you speaking on paternal things is that as they take care of Norn and Aisha, we are getting to the point to where I don't know when it does feel like Sylvie is going to have her child. All the building blocks are there.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Sylvie's gonna have a kid.
Wait, whoa. She's not even like pregnant on screen yet. Wait.
With the amount of times that Rudeus is like doing things and they're doing things, I mean, it's gonna happen at some point. I mean, they have been hinting at children for the past 2 episodes now. And especially after dinner, when Rudeus is like, hey, you think our kids are going to be well adept at magic? It's going to happen, man. I don't know when, but it's going to happen.
Oh my god. Okay, quick sidebar to the previous episode now that you said that. Sophie gave Rudeus explicit permission to get a concubine if they can't conceive a child.
Correct.
And good on him for saying, like, oh, I would never do that. I care about our love more, right? Which warmed my heart. But then I remembered This is a harem anime. I'm scared, guys. Rudeus, please.
Now remember, there's only Eris and God, what's her name again? Oh, Roxy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Roxy.
Forgot about Roxy. There's only those other two. So I don't know if either of them are gonna be in there, but we'll see there. Oh, it might be Roxy because they are in the same region. Yeah.
Oh God.
But we'll see. We'll see where they get there.
One last thing about this, I guess I'll call it the decision scene, right? The after exam scene. Aisha is also super quick-witted and sharp, and also is known to be like not manipulative, but she can sway you emotionally for sure, right? She can play dumb really easily, right? I did have my doubts during that scene that she was like 100% honest about her feelings. I think she was like pulling a card when she said, "Oh, are you treating me different because my mother is a concubine?" Right? And of course, Rudeus is going to be shocked and be like, "No, of course not. That's terrible. Why would you say that?" Right? Who says that? Right? But I take issue with that card being pulled at all. Right? That would be my issue. It's like nobody said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it does feel weird for it to be pulled without any like context or Aisha thinking about it. But with the previous episode of them fighting when they got to Rudeus's house and the day before when they had a falling out between each other, they've been going at it. So it's highly likely that Aisha has been having these very hard feelings for Norn and possibly their situation. And who knows what they went through together when Lilia and Aisha reconnected with Paul and Norn in season 1. Who knows after that?
You know what? Fair point. I'll cut them some slack for sure. Well, more slack. I don't hate them. I do indeed love them a lot.
There's probably some light novel stuff there.
There may be. Oh my gosh, guys, let us know in the comments, please, bro. I'll read those for sure. Put a big JD read this here so I know.
But since we're talking about Norn, episode 17, my older brother's feelings. Dear God, this is her episode. So, it begins. Rudeus is on a mission. He is power walking through the halls, heading to Norn's classroom. What's going on? Well, he just learned that Norn has not been going to class and she shut herself in her room. And he is now thinking, oh, I completely understand what Norn is going through. It's the same hell I have been going through in my past life in the other world. And he wants to help because not only is Norn his sister, but big brothers are supposed to protect their little sisters. So he gets into the class, interrupts everybody, and he's like, yo, Norn is my sister. I know one of y'all has done something to her. So come forward and I won't have to blast you. But when the student starts talking, it's not so much that somebody's bullied Norn or done anything bad to her. It's more Norn like explaining things about her brother and how sad she feels, or when people are talking about Rudeus, how sad she feels, how shut off she gets. And even the teacher herself explaining things. And it all coalesces to the point to where, oh, it's Rudeus. It's you, man. It's you. And so when he's talking with Linnea, Persena, and Sophie, he's getting a bit flustered. It's like, oh, it's me. And I want to do something, but he doesn't know what to do. And so then the other three, Linnea, Persena, and Sophie, they're like, hey, we can help you out. And so what they do is they create a situation in which Rudeus and Norn can be isolated. They get Princess Ariel to have a speech herding most of the girls out of the dorm so that Rudeus can go in safely. But Linnea Persena also smuggle him in with also a distraction add on top of it for a case of there's anybody else with it inside. And so we get to the real meat of the episode. Like 8 minutes of setup to now to have the full rest of the episodes be this one big like self-reflection and social encounter with Rudeus and Norn. And even on the outside, Rudeus knocks on it. He's able to enter. He hears, "Stay out." Not from Norn, but mentally from himself. Because when he opens that door, he sees a reflection. He sees his own room, the MC, from the other world. And then when he looks back, it's Norn's room. Walking into the neat / shuts in room. And he sees Norn. And then it's just, he has a reflection on a moment to where he himself, the MC, was laying down while his older brother was talking to him. Like, trying to help him out, making some arguments on how there's people that have it worse by him, and there's other things he can do. The older brother trying to invite him out to have some food, like, try to make him happy. But the MC, he just didn't want any of it. He ignored him, didn't engage in the situation. And now the MC, Rudeus, in this situation, he kind of has a feeling, so this is what my brother possibly felt. And then after the half of the episode, we now get to see it from Norn's perspective. And well, what happened? It's very easy. When that fateful moment of Rudeus versus Paul happened, Norn saw Rudeus hit Paul. And she started to resent Rudeus because why is this guy hitting my dad? The dad I love so much. The dad that protected me all of these years. And then it just sat with her. And now when she came over to Rudeus' home, hey, why is he coming home with this other girl that's not the redhead that I've seen him with? What's going on there? And then her resentment just grew further, and seeing him happy was just the nail in the coffin. She just hunkered down, and she tried to be as nice as possible, so she didn't want to get kicked out. And then she got confused when Rudeus said, "Hey, you're able to stay in the dorm." And she's like, "Wait, I don't get that." But mentally, she warped that positivity into, "Oh, so he doesn't want me. He doesn't want me here in the first place. He thinks I'm in the way." And when she's in class and interacting with other people, the more people recognize her as the sister to Rudeus Grey Rat, she gets to see and hear all the admiration that they have for Rudeus. All these positive things that he hears about Rudeus, hearing his name, and it makes her feel some type of way. She doesn't want to know about it. She doesn't care about it. It doesn't matter to her, and it's weighing on her more and more and more, up until the point to where she's like, I don't understand. Why do y'all like him? Why do you look up to him? And then when she gets up one day, she gets this terrible feeling on her stomach, and that's it. Shuts herself in her room. After that, we come back to this moment where Rudeus and Norn, they're together in the room. Norn goes like, "Wait, yeah, my dad did say that he worried about me." And then she remembered the moment that she had with Ruger, saying like, "Yeah, you'll make things up with Rudeus." And then afterwards, Rudeus, he gets close to the curtain and he starts talking. It's like, "Norn, I don't know what to do. I don't even know you. And yeah, this is all because of me." When Norn pulls back the curtain, she sees her father, Paul, but she blinks and sees Rudeus, the same person. And from there, Rudeus like, "I'll be there for you, Norn." And internally, Norn is like, "Oh, he's not gonna hit me. My dad didn't hit me. Rudeus he won't run out on me." And with that, when Rudeus is down, Norn is able to cry on Rudeus, and they have that sweet moment. Next day, things are looking a little okay. Norn is able to say good morning, and she's conversing with her classmates. And the episode ends on a final reflection, and Rudeus thinking like, when Nanahoshi goes back, I want her to take a message to my brother saying, "Thank you for everything, and I'm sorry." And the episode ends. Bro, you remember back in season 1 when you said that Paul has the same eyes as Rudeus and
Yes.
looking like and they both look like each other? So when Norn pulls back the curtain and sees Paul, but it's actually Rudeus instead, cinema.
Bro, there were so many good scenes just like that, where they like play with the visuals in your face. Like when he was entering the room and it shows Rudeus' past self, and it actually answered. I was terrified. I was like, "Who's beating up Norn in her room?" Right before realizing what was going on. Like this episode specifically is straight up cinema. It's beautiful. Like they do a lot of those visual tears and everything. It's awesome.
My favorite part, God, this really gets into like the mental headspace of people who are, shut-ins. and who people who like have a pessimistic view on things. When Norn realized that, wait, hold on, he's letting me have my way. Oh, that's good. But immediately when you have that much resentment about somebody or the situation that you're in, your mind starts to warp that positivity into something negative. And then after that, you're already on the slippery slope. There's no going back.
No, that's such a real thing that it's really hard to like break yourself out of if you have like a negative mindset like that. I personally struggle with that all the time, right? You just sort of get used to what's it called? Not even necessarily negativity, but like disappointment, right? There's always some gray cloud in the sky, right? Even on the most fair days, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think another thing I really liked about this episode, when we're doing all the flashbacks, when we're going back to that scene where he's like, okay, you can live in the dorm, even in the moment where Norn gets the acceptance that she wants, right? In the previous episode, we were focused on Aisha's reaction to it, right? But Norn herself was also in the same state of surprise, right? And we just would have never seen it until we saw it from her perspective, literally, right? It's this episode is really just one big piece about like understanding or trying to understand the perspectives of other people, right? Torn, I don't know if you've ever lived in the shadow of your big brother. As a big brother myself, I don't think I can know that experience. But this was a violent episode for me. Violent and eye-opening.
Yeah, I can't say I felt like I've lived in the shadow of my brother, so I can't really connect on that level. I will say I can connect with Rudeus on that protective sense of, oh, somebody very close to me, like a family member, they're going through something. Oh, they're being bullied. Oh, this is like the parent going to the school and like addressing everybody. All right, who messed with my child? Who did something to them? Come forward, please, or I'm blasting every single one of you for that. And then immediately when somebody like raised their hand to like explain themselves, Rudeus like, oh, so you did this, like relating to like his past. And they're like, oh no, it's like something else entirely. And even the teacher was like, oh, well, that reminds me. And then Rudeus like, oh, so you made her the laughing stock of the school and you strung her up? Wait, no, dude, that happened to you. Calm down. Calm down. But then it kind of relates to that. It's like, the problem is home. The person that took care of them. It's not the school. It's the parent, the environment that they grew up in. So that needs to change for them, the student, the child, that being Norn, to have a better school life.
I can't really imagine what it must have been like for her to be like, oh, okay, I can get some separation from home by living in the dorms, only for everybody in the school to constantly be going on about how awesome Rudeus is. Which, granted, he is pretty awesome, but it's like, dang, dude. I wonder if it was worse in the school as a result than at home at that point.
It had to be because everybody was talking like, hey, this guy that you hate, who you have a different opinion of, is really amazing. But you can't like see that because they don't know what you've seen. They don't know that years ago, this guy that you're talking about, that you're praising, hit my dad. My brother hit my dad. Beat him up in front of my very own eyes. He's not a good person. But then for Norn, on the flip side, hey Norn, you haven't seen your brother do this awesome, amazing things. You haven't seen your brother help out all of these people here. Hey Norn, you haven't seen Cliff, you haven't seen Linnea, Persena, Zanoba, Elenice, the princess, Sophie, the wife. Like, you don't know this. And so that clashing of perspectives was entirely hard on her.
Ooh. So naturally, this is my favorite episode so far.
Mm-hmm. Episode 15 was for me for Nahoshi's things. Oh, my it's like a small gripe. I'd be like a personal gripe. In the spawn on episode 15, I wished that we had more introspection for Rudeus to compare his life now to what his old life was. Now that we're doing like a little small bits across these episodes, but I would rather much have like a much longer monologue of, yeah, so this is my new life and how it compares to my old life. Like, I have a wife now, I have a house, I have a place to call home, I have people that love me that I love. Much different from what I was back then. Things of that nature. That's it. I think episode 17 helped out more, but that was more relating to Norn and how he was a shut-in himself, but not like overall on his life.
I think I feel you. And I think this sort of speaks to like the show don't tell nature of the show. I think Rudeus, or I guess main character at this point, is sort of known, right? I think the fact that he has so little life experience from the past makes it impossible to need to require that introspection, because we've already seen what we need to see of him, right? And no, I guess I'm making a point from the point of view of somebody who has been actually informed about this only maybe 6 episodes ago by our wonderful commenter, Chipotle is Life.
I'm still more of a stick in
that,
the,
actually.
I'm still more of a stick in the mud in the fact that it's not like there a lot has happened, and I would rather much have him take just give me 3 minutes of a scene of Rudeus of laying on his bed just thinking about everything that has happened to him and comparing to his old life. That's all I really want. And yeah, we can do a small snippets across the episodes, but then it just feels like that we only talk about it when it really matters. But we know we have those days to where we just sit down and we think about it, and it's like, oh man, yeah, this is it. Whoa, I didn't have any of these things.
No, that's definitely a real thing. Oh, okay. Here's something kind of interesting. Do we, as people, as humans, right, accept... Or no. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me restart this. As people, I feel like when we go through a tragedy or some sort of affliction against ourselves, let's say addiction or alcoholism, or let's just go for quitting smoking, right? That person will be the most vocal and radical advocate for other people to not do that thing or not go through that thing that they went through, right? And I think we see that perfectly within Rudeus anytime anybody goes through a shut-in phase, both with Nanahoshi and with Norn for these 3 episodes, right?
Yeah, he's seen those situations, and so now the people that's close to him, he doesn't want them to go through the same stuff that he's gone through. So he's literally going out of his way to make sure.
Yeah, I had to rethink about it, because at the beginning of the episode, when he was confronting the class, he was just like, okay, I need somebody to apologize right now. I won't be angry, I just need to make sure Norn is fine. And then internally he's like, yeah, I'm gonna tear this person from limb and limb, right? And I don't care if they bullied them or not. He just wanted to send a message. He was that serious, right? And that stuff drove me wild, because I couldn't believe that he would do that for anything else, bro.
I mean, he almost did it. He almost did it to Julie.
Oh my god! I hope at least there's one scene in the future where it's just Rudeus, bro, I get that you're mad, but you can't just take your anger about what happened to you and impose that on everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's season 3. Maybe.
I can't wait for Rudeus to crash out and him just do some kind of city-wide destruction magic.
Oh god. Nah, that's not happening. I'm gonna say it right here.
Hey, we got a tease of it in season 1. I kind of want to see it now.
He's older now. He has control and stuff, you know?
Oh yeah, he sure did have control, busting into that classroom. Taking control immediately.
God. And to the point I made again, his facial control is just not there, bro. He wears his emotions right there, and it's just so beautiful, so consistent.
All right, I got nothing else here.
Yeah, man, we gotta save all our all our fears and nightmares and critique for Turning Point 3 next time, bro.
In the meantime, y'all, let us know what y'all think about the episodes so far in the comments below. Anything that we said, anything that's touched you in your life as a person, things that you can relate to, things that you've seen. This 3 block, divine.
Spectacular, dudes. Like, okay, we need to talk about this actually.
Mhm.
Who said season 2 was filler? Were you talking about just chorus 1 or chorus 2? Because chorus 2 is on like an insane level right now.
Well, remember, it's all set up. Season. I believe one in the comments below said that the first part of season 2, core 1, was like the all set up, but then afterwards in the core 2, everything just hits. Bam, 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 bam. We're kind of getting that.
No, definitely. It's delivering, man. Like, I'm glad for it.
With that being said, y'all, hope all of you have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Hope your day is just a little bit better than it already is. With that, we will catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.
Bye-bye. Richard is alive. Let's go.
Not for long.